If you're thinking about buying a tablet, the first device that comes into mind is the iPad. And ever since the first iPad was launched, Apple has held majority market share in the category. And the 2021 iPad Pro takes it to the next level. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 things that make the newest generation iPad Pro the greatest of all time. Let's get started. The newest generation Apple iPad has the M1 chip. Now, this is the same chip that you find in the new M1 MacBook Pro as well as the M1 Mac Mini. Now, this chip is no slouch. It beats Core i7 and Core i9 iMacs from the previous generation, whether it comes to CPU or GPU performance, and it's supposedly one of the best chips that you can buy in the price category, giving the kind of performance that it does. On the iPad, it makes fantastic sense simply because if you're a designer or a creator, you will be able to utilize the performance of the M1 chip to use in apps like Photoshop or Procreate, or if you're a video editor, you'll be able to use things like LumaFusion, although it is still limited to whatever is available on the iPad OS, and hopefully Apple launches things like Final Cut on the iPad so that video editors can take full advantage of this portable beast as far as performance is concerned. Now, this performance also translates into things that are more casual. So if you're somebody who likes to game on the iPad, this chip is fantastic for that. And you can play extremely demanding games without putting any kind of burden on the iPad Pro. The next major reason that makes the iPad Pro really desirable is also tied in with the performance capabilities that I mentioned earlier, and that is the displays. So if you get an 11-inch iPad Pro, you get a LED backlit IPS display, which gives you a 2388 by 1668 pixel resolution, giving you 264 pixels per inch. You also get ProMotion. Going a step further, the 12.9-inch iPad will give you a mini LED backlit display. So you get 2596 local dimming zones for better brightness control, or 2732 by 2048 pixel resolution, maintaining that 264 pixels per inch. You still get ProMotion, so 120 Hertz, the same wide color gamut, 600 nits of brightness, but 1600 nits of peak brightness on HDR. So if you're consuming HDR content, you will be able to achieve a really high 1600 nits of peak brightness. And if you pump up the display to 100% brightness, you will get 1000 nits at full screen brightness. So if you're creating content or editing photographs or editing video, this additional brightness can really come in handy for that. Also, if you're planning to game on the iPad Pro, it is one of the best devices to do that because you get 120 Hertz of refresh rate and you still get the performance and the power capability of the M1 chip, which pairs in well together and gives you really impressive gaming results as well. The next big reason has to be the Magic Keyboard. Now, Apple has had a keyboard accessory for the iPad Pro since the first generation, and last year the Magic Keyboard was much improved. However, this time around, the Magic Keyboard is one of the best accessories that you can get for an iPad Pro. And for most people, the iPad Pro can replace a full-size laptop based on what kind of work you do. Not only can you use it as a laptop and type on it for sending mails, etc., but you can also use the performance of the M1 to do any kind of design work or any kind of edit work on the device. If you're somebody who does mostly word processing and does spreadsheets and presentations and things like that, those are also accessible on the iPad. You get a full Microsoft Office suite, or you can use Apple's own apps, and other third-party apps are also available, and the touchscreen experience makes all of that work much faster, paired in with the display, paired in with the M1 chip that we mentioned earlier. The Magic Keyboard just makes it better. You get a mouse via a trackpad, and you also get a keyboard which is fantastic to type on for long periods of time, and the angle at which it holds the iPad is extremely ergonomic and lets you type on it very comfortably. The next reason that the iPad Pro is seriously goated is the connectivity capabilities. So you get a Thunderbolt 3 port, and it also has a USB 4 capabilities. So if you're attaching external devices like external Thunderbolt drives, you can get really fast performance from the iPad Pro. So whether you're using it for things like video editing and you want a scratch drive outside your iPad, which can be used on other devices as well, you can connect a Thunderbolt 3 SSD and get that experience on the iPad Pro. Another thing that this port allows is for Thunderbolt docks to be used. So you can use a Thunderbolt dock to connect several other devices. And not to forget the Apple Pencil as an input. The second generation of the Apple Pencil on these 120Hz refresh rate displays on the newer iPad Pros has a latency of just 9 milliseconds. This is down from 20 milliseconds previously. This makes the experience of using the Apple Pencil on the iPad almost realistic, almost like using a pen and paper. And that makes just using the Apple Pencil as an input device, whether you're using it as a designing accessory or just as an everyday use accessory, that much greater. And the final reason is the sheer versatility of the iPad Pro. Because it's extremely portable, has a fantastic battery life, up to 10 hours depending on what kind of usage you have. You also get features like center stage, which is excellent for video calls. It automatically centers your face in the front-facing camera while you're on a video call. And you also have really impressive sound from the inbuilt speakers. And then it also has those fantastic cameras which offer 4K 60 FPS recording, and also the LiDAR sensor which can be used to map out rooms or create 3D captures of objects or even place augmented reality objects in real time. All of that mixed with some of the previous features that we mentioned make the iPad Pro extremely versatile and a really great device to have. Granted, with a price tag of $71,000 for the 11-inch and $99,000 for the 12.9-inch, the iPad Pro is not approachable for everyone. But for those who need a powerhouse of a device, a portable device with a capable processor, a fantastic display, and lots of new connectivity and input options, the iPad Pro is definitely the greatest of all times. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already a part of Team iGyaan. This has been Bharat. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.